Info. I am yours truly, Kalada Kurubat. But remember, you can follow me on social media, DKalada, TheKalada. It is that time when we switch conversations. Remember, live on Facebook, Niger Info PH. We're live on YouTube, Niger Info PH, and we're active on X, Niger Info PH. All right, so what do I have in store for you right now? I'll tell you. So, reactions are still pouring in as it relates to Supreme Court's pronouncements on local government autonomy and what the Constitution says. You know, people are still reacting. I mean, Sheyi Makinde was trending this morning up until the afternoon because, you know, the governor was reluctant, very reluctant, from his tone, from his body language, from the things he wanted to say that he couldn't say, from my understanding. He was very reluctant, you know, to agreeing with the local government autonomy judgment. He said, see, Oyo State is no lesser than the federal government. The federal government is not bigger than the state government. So the state government will do what is in the best interest of the state. He went ahead to say that before he came in 2019, what was the order of the day? They could not pay teachers' salaries at the local government level. They could not pay, you know, health workers, pensions, and the likes. And he was saying the state government had to take up that responsibility. In my opinion, he was basically saying the state government took up the financial management of the various local governments. And that's why, of course, they were paying all the things they were paying, or they have been paying. But he said he will do what is in the best interest of Oyo State. And it sounds like a music that I would listen many years ago. You know, You Can Tell Me Nothing. Kanye West, right? That's how it sounds, because the governor Sheyi Makinde is saying no, you know, very reluctant. I mean, he's possibly going to obey. He hasn't said he would not obey, but his body language is saying or showing reluctancy. However, that's not the reaction that I want to look at today. I want to look at the reaction and a very controversial one at that has emerged from one of the political stakeholders in Rivers State. I mean, in recent times, he has been heard or has been seen to have made certain controversial statements. He has made a couple of them in recent times. However, he is calling for INEC to take over the duties of the state's independent electoral commissions. He is saying that the state's independent electoral commissions are not independent at all, that they are an appendage of the governor, and no, not Rivers State now. And indeed, I would not like us to focus on Rivers State because, you know, Rivers State is enmeshed in a political fight, and the political fight started way before the Supreme Court, you know, gave its pronouncement sometime last week. So I can touch it, but my focus is not Rivers State this time around. However, even though I know, you know, it's all a political statement, he called for INEC to take over the conduct of elections at the local government level because he believes that the state electoral commissions are not independent, that they are biased. The person I'm talking about is Tony Okocha, who is the acting chairman, All Progressives Congress here in Rivers State, and a Rivers rep at the NDDC. But you see, so many angles to this conversation, talking about corruption in government. You know, I would usually say, before I joined Nigeria Info, where I was working before, I would usually say that I see all politicians as the same. Whether you're from the left or you're from the right or you're from up or you're from down, as long as you're a politician, not just in Nigeria, I view politicians all around the world as the same. It's just that Nigerians' situation or Nigeria's situation is something that goes way beyond one's imagination. I've always believed that they are the same. And so when we say corruption, even though I would argue that the man on the street also plays his own role in ensuring that corruption is thick and fat in our society, in almost every facet of the government institutions, there is high level of corruption. Now, I don't know if you remember, was it in 2019? Was it in 2017 now? When they did the report on corrupt institutions in the country, we saw major government institutions being named amongst the top 4. And so when I listened to Tony Okocha during the press briefing, I believe it was today because I saw the video online, my mind wandered, and I as my mind was wandering, I was imagining the level of corruption in all institutions of government. And my mind went back to what Seyi Makinde said, that before 2019 in his state, that the local government chairmen were not paying salaries to workers. And yet again, corruption. And so the first question I want to ask is, before I play the audio, I want to ask all my questions. Is there any corrupt-free politician? And have we, the people, been enablers of these politicians to carry on, setting corrupt practices? Because remember, I've argued that the people on the street also play a role in the thick corruption we have in society. So what that means is that the people in government are mere reflections of the... Number 2 is in electoral fraud, and nobody has done anything. The police, not the politicians on it. Nobody done anything about it. Remembered by all saying. So the left said, please, in the 2023 government sheet, that was chief of staff. It brings us back to the kind of institutions that we have in Nigeria. And it breaks my heart because I want to see a country that is developed. And for development to occur, it means that we must have institutions that are high and mighty, that are stronger than the individuals that manage them. Like this.
The issue of election into office should no longer be the responsibility of state independent electoral commissions, because the system is already skewed. The governors will use it as another means of getting back what they feel they have lost. Because they formed the RISEC, the SEC, I'm sorry, when I say RISEC, I'm talking about Rivers State. They formed the State Independent Electoral Commission and give them handouts. I was chief of staff, I gave handouts. I gave. Elections could be written in chief of staff's office. It was done so in my time. We did so. We'll write the results and hand over to the commission. They will just, their business is going to go and announce. And of course, after announcing it was done so in my time. We did so. We'll write the results and hand over to the commission. They will just, their business is going to go and announce. And of course, after announcing the results, if you feel aggrieved, you will present before the tribunal. The tribunal is as set up by the state government. They also have their own handouts. Now the appeal to whatever tribunal is in all states that they have election. All the positions by the party. So that's what democracy.
While I feel like crying, while I feel like weeping for my country, I should remind you that we're not doing this to attack the personality of Tony Okocha. That's not what I'm trying to do on the show, and I never do that, please. So if you're going to call, or if you're intending to call to attack his person, don't bother calling in, right? But what I want us to do is touch on the matter. And after listening to that, I mean, yes, we saw what INEC did during the 2023 election. There were malfeasances here, malfeasances there. But generally, I mean, they were able to conduct elections, right? I mean, the PDP has got 13 states out of the 36, and NPP has got one, right? So, Labour Party has got one. Is it one or two? One, yeah. So, so with INEC, some states were able to win, or some parties were able to win some states, irrespective of the power at the center. So does this revelation in any way make the case for INEC to take over the conduct of local government elections? Because for those of you who are celebrating, federalism, finally local government can take charge of their finances. You should go and take a listen to Fire Shay's interview. I think was it yesterday or the day before, former governor of Ekiti State. He was saying, see, I've been governor. Even if you give them this, I mean, he was saying, I want it to happen like this. But the governors will still find a way, to touch the money, because it is their people who are local government chairman. And he said, no local government chairman can become local government chairman without the governor's input. Which brings us back to the conversation. Should we have INEC conduct elections? But more importantly is the question, do you, with your election not far away, October the 5th, I'm talking about local government elections in River State now, do you think with this revelation that you trust the State Independent Electoral Commission? We suspect that. We won't suspect it, and we use the word allegedly. But he was chief of staff once upon a time, and he said in his office, things like that were done. Has anything changed since that time? Do we have better politicians? Interesting. So I will go to the phone lines shortly. I do have a commercial break coming up, but I think I'm tempted to play that soundbite one more time.
The issue of election into office should no longer be the responsibility of state independent electoral commissions, because the system will be already skewed. The governors will use it as another means of getting back what they feel they have lost. Because they formed the RISEC, the SEC, I'm sorry, when I say RISEC, I'm talking about River State. They formed the State Independent Electoral Commission and give them handouts. I was chief of staff, I gave handouts. I gave. Elections could be written inside chief of staff's office. It was done so in my time. We did so. We'll write the results and hand over to the commission. They will their business is going to go and announce. And of course, after announcing it was done so in my time.
I do have a commercial. When I do come back, I'll play the rest of that clip and I'll ask you some more questions and then open the phone lines. Please do stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info. let's take a look at the headline news. Pro-Fubara lawmakers oppose Amewule-led lawmakers' decision to stop government spending. Port Harcourt-based lawyer insists on legitimacy of Rivers local government caretaker committees. Local vigilante arrests suspected kidnappers in Omagwa, Ikwere, River State. Man accuses Bakana youths of killing brother. On the foreign scene, one killed as protesters demand resignation of Kenyan president. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0807217215. I am Kalada Korubatbo. Do stay tuned.
This is Facts.
All right, welcome back. 26 minutes to the top of the hour. You're still listening to Hard Facts and 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am yours truly, Kala Dakorubatsuba. Remember, we're live, rather. You can watch us live on Facebook, Nigeria Info page, on YouTube, Nigeria Info page, on X, Nigeria Info page, or better still, you can follow me on social media, D Kalada, TheKalada. Good afternoon to you. We're looking at the conversation as it relates to local government autonomy, but this time we're asking, should we have INEC? Should we go a step further and see the constitution amended to allow INEC some level of control over the elections at the local government level? Because like Fayose, like Seyi Makinde have argued, maybe true federalism, like we like to call it. I wonder what they mean by that. But maybe true federalism can actually be achieved or will not be achieved if we do not allow INEC do it. But I want to get your thoughts. And the reason why we are talking about this is because Tony Okocha, APC acting chairman in Rivers State, made a statement. Oh my. Take a listen.
Issue of election into office should no longer be the responsibility of state independent electoral commissions, because the system is already skewed. The governors will use it as another means of getting back what they feel they have lost. Because they fund the RISEC, the SEC, I'm sorry, when I say RISEC, I'm talking about it. They fund the independent electoral commission. I gave. It will be written inside the staff office. It was done so in my time. We did so. And of course, after announcing it was in my time. The commission just says go and announce. And of course, after announcing the results, if you feel aggrieved, you will present before the tribunal. The tribunal is as set up by the state government. They also have their own handouts. Now the appeal to whatever decision the tribunal takes is at the state high court. They will also have their handout to do. So what will you do else? You will accept your fate. And it is the reason why in all states where they have conducted election, all the positions were won by the governor's own party. So that suggests democracy.
All right. I already made myself clear. I don't think I want to take a stand with anybody. I want to stand for the truth. I'm going to stand for the people, and hopefully God will help me with that decision I've made. But let's get your own thoughts. Let's get your own idea of what you think about what has been said, and what the argument is, and what it should be. I'm being careful with my words here. So 0817 923 0002 0817 923 0003 0817 923 0007. Those are the call numbers. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're active on X, Nigerian for PH. This one says no one should take. Okay, once again, I'm going to skip that part because I said we're not here for anybody's head or personality. So, Melody, I would rather you edit your message. I'm going to move on now. This one says, if he rigged in his time, Nemesis has caught up with him this time. Why is he barely aching? Ask him if there was CTC when he was chief of. Yet again, I'm not here. Anybody, and I know what, I'm just going to go straight to the phone lines now. And I'm listening to Isaiah George from Buguma. Isaiah, welcome.
Yes, Kalada Kuru. I want to say that you told us not to attack personality.
Yeah, yes, I'm moving.
But I will start like this by saying that if today what is playing out is actually is in the favor of him, I don't think we'll be hearing all these things. Now, my brother, if you now say INEC should conduct election, the question to ask is the national INEC purged aside from electoral manipulation, electoral fraud. That's why the result to the final designation on the way the result to be changed and handout will also exchange hand and all of that. Are you forgotten that in this state somebody was taking over 500 billion naira to INEC office and he was not?
All right, I think we lost that connection. Muriel from Okrika, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Hi, KDB. Good evening.
Yeah, greetings to you.
This is the Okrika woman. Look, KDB, I don't know why it pains a person that commits a particular crime, if that same crime, wants to be meted out on that to that person. Why does it pain a thief for someone to steal from a thief? Does it pain them so much? When that notwithstanding, KDB, nobody should blame we the people for the total decay, total decadence, or total moribund of our institutions. Our institutions are totally moribund. In fact, for a person to come out to make this kind of statement that is sat in his office and he just issue a disappear work and nobody is talking, and yet our security officials will be going after Yahoo boys. It is our young boys and Yahoo boys that they are the ones who put them in the situation that they are going after. Just imagine what everyone is saying. And this is exactly what the governor for is the one that bottom for everybody. The bottom for everybody should come down. I don't care who the person is. For the system to purify the system. But no, they will turn dead ears. For the general Poppy was saying that the law is not just for the hope, it's not just the hope of the common man, it's also the hope of the rich. Just imagine what they are saying, KDB. This country has born there was a time I said, it is possible for us to reshuffle the country, let us start all over again from the beginning. If it is possible, I will suggest it happens, honestly, KDB.
All right, thank you, Meryl. I've got to go. All right.
He has one that praised him to stupor.
All right, I've got to go. I've got to go. I'm sorry, Meryl. Barine from Thai LGA. Welcome, Barine. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good evening, Canada.
Greetings to you all.
What about the comment concerning people that have been elected? The governor have judiciously elected, appointed local committee chairman, and we want to exercise and experience good evidence of democracy. Why should we showcase an error that has never happened in the constitutions? And I think a time when people will become a mouthpiece for given issues, that is not what to happen in the society. And I think that it's high time we were able to allow all these unguided policies to affect the directions of the generations of the rivers people. It is a heart-killing situation. We are begging these people that they should help us. They should help us sincerely.
All right.
Allow the governance of rivers people to stand the way it has been designed. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Barry. But I've got to move on. I've got Sammy from Old GRA. Sammy, welcome. Tell me your thoughts.
Thank you, my brother, for this wonderful revelation. It will correct our foundation.
I did do the revelation.
The Bible says if the foundation be destroyed.
Okay.
Sorry?
I said I'm not the one who made the revelation. I only reported what I saw.
Of course, you brought it. I didn't know before today.
Okay.
Copy of Nigeria Info. It is telling us, there's a mirror showing us who we are. This is it. Yes, to the best of my knowledge, education and intelligence is abuse of office and it's against our law. They used a public office to do that. All the relevant security agencies, ethical agencies that should check corruption should pick up this man immediately. And I'm going to go on Facebook. I'm going to influence everybody on Facebook. This person will go to Mr. President if they don't do it. And he's also in the NDC board. So you can imagine the integrity of person in the NDC board representing you and I in another situation. Again, this allegation was also alluded to the 2020 elections. That they fingered it and he part of that cartel. So on this president, we have the justification to say even the 2020 election was also manipulated. And tomorrow, if we stand on the legislative grounds to say we're not going to agree like in Kenya, they'll say, oh, these guys are resting, these guys are violent, these guys, but they started it. We gave the opportunity to be in office, they did without conscience, and then they want to lead us again. It's very unfortunate. All of them, the gentle stride of the tiger, River State was worked like a gentle stride. They took it for granted.
All right, Sammy.
But don't
Sammy.
see the real River State.
No violence. No violence.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, Sammy, thank you. No violence. Melody has edited his message. It says, as INEC performed better than state electoral commissions over the years, INEC is the worst umpire I have ever seen. Are we not supposed to be decentralizing powers instead of centralizing it? Who says federal government will not manipulate the election worse than the governors do? Show me one agency under the federal government that is doing well. If Tony Okocha were to be a governor, would he have advocated for this law? They are so, what did you write there? They are so ungoverned. I think he meant so many ungoverned spaces in Nigeria because the center is too far from the people, yet you still want to make or take more powers beyond the reach of the people. Okay, all right, I see you, Melody. This one says, I advocate that state independent electoral commission should conduct the local government elections. This is because INEC has too many responsibilities and INEC has its flaws too. The statement by Tony has shown the level of moral decadence in our society. He handed handouts and rigged elections. Today the table has changed and he doesn't want to be cheated. Amma blessed. I think we have a new vocabulary. You know, I would call it tithes and offerings before, but I think handouts is a good one. Handouts is what we should be using going forward, I believe. But let's take this one. This one says, Mr. Kochu just confirmed what we already know, nothing new. At least for once, you have been provided with proof. Merry-go-round of handouts. This one says, you asked a question if there's a better politician. I say, yes. Out of millions of sinners, there must be a righteous one. Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, as governor of Kaduna State, conducted local government election through state electoral commissions, transmitted results electronically. Opposition parties won different LJs and were sworn in from Stan. Okay, all right. Let's see this one. Man of the people. The open confession is coming out from Tony, or that is coming out from Tony, is very unfortunate. So the road local government election results in his office when he was the chief of staff. God is at work. More revelations from Tangod ability at table. This one says, I think it is high time these men who are being used by their master to cause disorderliness in our dear state be arrested. I wonder why Okay, yet again, we're not going to call for arrest now, please. This is not the show. I don't think Tony is a politician. If he is, he should have known that the councillors' election starts and end at the ward and announced by the ward returning officer, while that of the chairman end at the local government headquarters, and results are announced declared by electoral officers in charge of the LG. I wonder where he said that maybe his council elections are the ones who wrote in his office. It's a shame, Lady V. Well, Lady V, you can write from anywhere and send it now. Is that not how it is done? I like this argument from Daniel. It says, seems odd to me that principles like conflict of interest are virtually non-existent in Nigeria. If the governor has any direct interest in the results of an election, why is he now provided with the authority to be umpire directly or indirectly in the matter? What a question. What a question. Let's get to the phone lines. I've got, 5 more minutes. I'm going to take some more calls. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Obiora Kenneth on Facebook says, okay, I'm going to skip that one. Fidelis Elemo said, the political class is the most corrupt in the nation. All right, thank you. You're texting from Chokoche. Aleru Speed says, INEC could not give us better results from the general elections, and I know very well that they can't get it right. RESEC is far better than INEC. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much for that contribution. Let's go now back to the phone lines. Clinton calling from Bori. Clinton, welcome. What is on your mind?
Yeah, Claudia.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah.
You see, unfortunately, the statement of Tony Okocha is a sad truth.
Okay.
There is no local government election in Nigeria. What they do is to sit the confines of their homes and write results. And that is why we don't have credible leaders manning position of leadership. So if the Electoral Act can be amended, because I fought the Supreme Court judgment, because provisions were not made to actually give candidates independency to the local government. Because if the government funds RESEC, governors can dictate what RESEC will do. I'm not saying on paper that is the law, but we know what happened behind the closed doors. So if we really want to have a local government that works, let INEC, even though we know they have their own flaws, I know they can conduct elections where parties or candidates from different political parties can win election. That's what we are calling for. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. I've got to go. I've been told I have a commercial, so good luck. I can't take your call. I'm really sorry. I'll have to let you go at this point. And all of your messages are read when we come back after the major news at 6. Just stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info.